ahead and get all of this super mature cilantro out of here. Some of it's younger and fresher. We'll hang on to this and kind of sort through it in the kitchen and see what's salvageable. I did find a few nice carrots that we'd left behind when we were in here the other week pulling out carrots. I do have a grate in here from when I first started this to keep the dogs out. Some from trampling it while everything was small. It's a carrot. There's probably a lot more salvageable cilantro in here than what I'm getting, but at this point we've got a bucket full. I've already put up several nice quarts of cilantro, so if I get a couple of buckets full, I'll be happy. And that'll be plenty for what we need it for next year. And the rabbits will be super happy with this. The cows will be super happy with this. Nothing ever goes to waste around here. This cilantro started coming up late August. So this is where we're at this point with it. I do see some little onion, I keep saying onion, garlic plants over here that we're gonna get up and get transplanted into a nice organized little row. Again, anything that looks young and tender we'll keep. Once cilantro starts to kind of have these little frilly things on the ends, your cilantro gets kind of bitter tasting. It's not that good at that point, so you don't want to keep this. That's almost to the point of putting out a flower and bolting. all of these roots. Rabbits love those. With this amount of greenery, you can skip feeding your rabbits their pellets for a couple of days. I use these little trellises for anything that needs to climb, but I also use them to keep the dogs out of my freshly planted seed beds. That's actually grass. Thought it was garlic. Alright, so we've gotten all of our cilantro cleaned out of these beds. I found a few little onions in here. Garlic, not onions. I keep saying onions. So we're going to get those kind of transplanted into rows over here in this bed. I'm going to go ahead and get my cilantro in the house outside of the sun so that it's not wilting. We're going to get this washed up and put into the freezer. I'll probably go ahead and harvest my lettuce as well. Get that into bags in the refrigerator. It's not going to last that much longer out here before it starts molting, so we do want to use that over the next few weeks. Then I'm just going to come in here, probably top off these beds with some rabbit manure, spread out our chicken manure, and get all these beds refreshed. But before I could move on to that, we really had to get this cilantro out of here. So I've got this whole wheelbarrow full of cilantro. I'm going to take some to the rabbits, some to the chickens, and some to the cows. Alright, so I'm going to go through here and try to find any garlic bulbs that are just starting to come up and get them lined up in nice little pretty rows. Alright, so I'm just going to go through these beds and try to find any garlic bulbs that are starting to come up. I want to get them lined up nicely and neatly in these beds. Any areas that I'm missing little shoots, I've got some garlic from last year that I'm going to go ahead and use to plant through here. I want to have at least 2 beds of garlic coming up for next year. Alright, we've gone through and gotten all of our cilantro out of these beds. I'm going to go through and just kind of dig up through here and see if I see any little garlic bulbs that may be getting ready to come up. We did have garlic planted in here in the spring, and a lot of times it will reseed itself this particular area was a soft neck garlic, and it doesn't tend to reseed itself like an elephant garlic would. So we may not find much in this area, and I don't really see anything. All of this coming up over here is going to be elephant garlic. Elephant garlic tends to make really big bulbs. It grows really well in the south where it's hot and humid. And when you harvest the large bulbs, there's a lot of times these little bitty tiny bulbs like that all around the big bulb, and you'll just leave those in the dirt and it will reseed itself, and you'll start having these pop up in the fall, and then they'll basically reseed themselves so that you have a garlic harvest the following spring. Overall, we don't have a lot coming through. A couple here. This bed was full of garlic, so I definitely want to go through it. This had more of the elephant garlic as well, so we'll try to see what we can find. These are garlic sprigs. That's a little garlic bulb that we're going to hang on to. This one came up, so we'll hang on to that. A lot of times you just need to give these beds a little bit of a chance for the garlic to start popping up. Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of it. These that are super close to the edge will not be able to make a big enough bulb, so I am going to get those out and spread them to an area where they can kind of spread out. You can see the little bulbs on the bottom. With the cilantro cleared out of here, we'll probably see more and more of these pop up. But I want to get a nice little stand of them over there as well. There's probably some under here that we've missed, which is okay. They should start popping up over the next few weeks with the cilantro out of here, so they have a chance to get some sunlight. But I'm going to probably grab some little plants from my dad. I'll go ahead and get these planted and go ahead and plant these garlic that I already have stored from last year into this area. By and large, in the southeast, you're going to have the best luck with elephant garlic. It's technically part of the leek family, but it tolerates our heat really well, produces massive amounts of garlic. These are the little ones that haven't quite sprouted up a green top, but they're getting ready to. I'm going to go ahead and get these onions out of here. These are Egyptian walking onions, and we can divide these up, and those will grow us a lot of different plants. I'm just going to really devote this bed to garlic, so I don't want any onions in here. I'll set these aside. Get to those. So we've got one strip of garlic plants down through here. I'll just keep going with the few that I have. A lot of these cloves are going to be my soft cloves. Elephant garlic. always point your garlic cloves with the root side down. Alright, I've got all of my elephant garlic planted in that bed. We're going to go ahead and plant the soft mint garlic that I have over in this bed. This is just all garlic that I've saved from when I harvested it in the spring. This makes a really small clove compared to the big jumbo cloves that you'll get with elephant garlic. But it does have a more pungent flavor than the elephant garlic. So true garlic flavor. Some people do soak their garlic cloves overnight. I've never found the need to. I just put them to the ground and they usually do pretty well. Elephant garlic cloves. I may stick it over in the other bed. Garlic, did you? Here, let me see what you got. Did you take some of my garlic? 2 cloves of elephant garlic that I'm going to stick over in this bed. Alright, I got our last few cloves of garlic to go ahead and get in here. Again, all of these are the soft nut garlic. Take a smaller bulb, more pungent than the elephant garlic. Definitely a lot smaller. We're going to get these covered up. Garlic. Stick it over here in this bed somewhere. You see the spot? Because I'd like to have plenty of garlic this year, I'm probably going to take this bed and prep it and see if my dad has some extra garlic plants that I can get from him and fill this space up with garlic as well. My goal is to make a lot of salsa this summer. As you saw, we have plenty of cilantro to go with it. We have a lot of onions planted. That'll be good to go in the salsa. So between garlic, onions, and tomatoes, should make some good salsa. Also, I'm going to grow the green tomatillos again this year. Try to put up a little bit more of the green salsa that everybody really enjoys in the family. Alright. So we're just going to kind of let this green matter break down in this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with fertilizing these beds. For this particular bed, since we're not actually planting into it right now, I'm not going to do any kind of fertilizing in this. What I am going to add to this bed is some wood ash, which is going to put a natural source of potassium into this bed. It's also going to have somewhat of a liming effect on this bed until we get it planted. We will have it breaking down. Wood ash is a great additive to your soil if you're in an environment where your soil is acidic. If you are in an environment where your soil is alkaline, you do not want to add wood ash because you will further increase the alkalinity of your soil. So in refreshing these beds, I'm just going to get some wood ash on the top of this. This wood ash has gotten wet, but it was in a very large pile, so most of the potassium should still be in it. Potassium leaches out of the wood ash really quickly if it's in a light layer, but when it's piled up like we do ours, you still have plenty of potassium in it. Now, if some of this is really fresh, this lighter color stuff, that is very high in potassium. Now over here on these two beds where we did actually plant the garlic, we're going to do the same thing. Probably go a little bit lighter with our wood ash. Additionally, I'm going to come across this bed with a 50-50 combination of triple 13 fertilizer and organic fertilizer. Do the same thing on this next bed. Now, garlic is kind of like onions as far as needing quite a bit of nitrogen to create big, thick green tops, which ultimately equate to big garlic bulbs on the bottom. That's why I start out with the mixture of the triple 13 and the organic fertilizer. Just to get them started. The other thing that we're going to do, not today because we're running out of time, we're going to come back across these beds with a layer of rabbit manure. That's going to add a source of nitrogen that will slowly break down throughout the season. To continue to feed these beds, to continue to build the soil in these beds. And moving along, as I previously said, we're just kind of refreshing all of these beds out here. So I've got this wood ash. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle it around on all of our beds. These are the ones that we have matter breaking down in. And we'll just keep going through all of our beds like this.